So my name is Chris Nicholas. My heritage is Maltese, and I own Cosmos Fish and Chips. I left home when I was 13 years old. I done my electrical trade, and in the end ended up hating electrical work and enjoying the fish work, and started managing a shop in Wetherill Park called Tenerife Seafoods. I did that for 7 years and ended up marrying their cousin, who was a costing. And from there we decided to open our own shop. And then we started hearing of the virus in China, and everyone was like, oh, we're fine, we're fine. And then it hit us. To be honest, it was probably the first time that we all got sent home. It was probably the best three months of our life. Because it was just like a gimmick. It was like, wow, we did to shut our shop. I've never had a holiday in my life. And we all started coming back, and it was quiet. Our biggest issue was probably staff. We had a team of about 75 people in the company, and obviously we lost a lot of people during the COVID pandemic because JobKeeper wasn't available to international students. So all our international students went out and found other jobs. So realistically, we lost 70% of our workforce. The second part that was hard was going into landlords and trying to renegotiate rents. Because the city wasn't back to where it was. And we had to try and get landlords to understand that just because you're doing 40% of your turnover, it doesn't mean that you're making 40% of your profit. We've actually lost 2 stores during the pandemic. Our only blessing in the pandemic was property prices went through the roof. We've got a half-decent portfolio that actually kept us alive. The only really help that can really help us at the moment is our landlords really supporting us and sticking by us and really supporting our business, which to our surprise most of us. It's been probably the toughest 2 years of my life. Like, we just did whatever we could to make do, but it was just taken out of our hands. It doesn't matter what we did, there was nothing we could do to get ahead. Mentally it was very tough because of that reason. Because I'm a bit of a control freak and we just had no control.
My name is Kirby Craig from Sydney, and my business was Umo. I started retail from not being allowed to go back to school. I was a bit of a rebel, I guess, probably. And so my mother told me to get a trade. And so the first place I knocked on the door of to look for an apprenticeship as a chef was Tetsuya's in Roselle, which took me out, which is great. My business started by basically a want to have something in Australia that wasn't yet offered. So I had an idea and some inspiration from Japan that I wanted to basically tailor to my way and the Western palate that didn't exist yet. And so we just formulated that and it started to pop up. The impact of COVID was, to make an example, is say you're getting paid $400 a week. That's based off sales. 1 week you're getting $400, and then the next day you're getting about $1.50. That was what it was like. The biggest issues were basically you're trying to go against what the government was saying. So the government's telling everyone stay inside, don't go outside, you're going to die. But you've still got to run a business and having the ability to run a business as well. So we had the biggest challenge for us was definitely staffing. trying to get people that want to work or feel comfortable working in that environment. So the COVID pandemic cost me millions, definitely. Because the opportunity costs as well to come involved. You know what I mean? It's just not about the financials. There's a lot of other intangibles that cost me. Things are definitely improving now. Yeah, it's pretty easy to improve from the bottom. Will the business be okay? Yes, it will. I think if you can survive that, you're pretty well geared to survive anything. Advice I'd give young people to open a new retail business is structure it in a way that it can survive in the worst case scenario. And COVID has been a good example of that. So if you can survive worst case scenario, go for it.